Hello everybody, I am AngryBird, and today we're taking a look at the second brand new division coming in the first Nemesis DLC pack. It's absolutely free, so make sure you install it. It comes out on the 8th of October, so hop back onto Steel Division 2, install the free DLC and get yourself back into the game. And if you're already a big fan of Steel Division 2, you already play it, then much love. You probably already know about this division, but I'm going to take you through it today. So, the 97th Guard Strelkovi. Let's have a look at the description. Having fought and escaped several encirclements by the skin of their teeth, the 97th Guards Rifle Division received its honorary Guards title after Stalingrad. The formation saw further action during Kursk and in Ukraine. Aggressive reconnaissance gave the division advance warning of the impending Wehrmacht counter-offensive against the Sandomierz Bridgehead. Reinforced with numerous ZIS-2 and ZIS-3 AT guns, the 97th Guards Rifle Division can also count on a brigade's worth of T-34-76 and T-34-85 tanks. IS-2 heavy tanks provide additional armor to blunt an enemy assault. The formation lacks heavy artillery compared to other Red Army divisions, and the overstretched Red Air Force can only offer a token amount of air support. The 97th Guards Rifle Division is a powerful battle group, excellent as a counterpunch thanks to its extensive array of tanks and AT guns. Okay, let's jump in. Immediate thoughts. All of the slots look pretty decent. Anti-air. Possibly that third slot looks fairly expensive, but we'll see what kind of equipment they've got as well. Let's jump into the recon tab. Actually, most of it's fairly standard. Motor Razveddozor, not used too often. Snipers are usually quite good. And then we have a new unit here, the Razveddozor. Or Razveddozor. AngryBirds struggling with pronunciation. So these have 6 MP40s, captured German guns, SVT-40PU. Is that a sniper version? It kind of almost looks like it, doesn't it? Actually, yeah, it does have the... it looks like it's got a scope. Yep, 1,000 meters. Why don't I just look at the range? Derp. So it has a sniper scope. And if we compare it to the Mosin Nagant PU, I wonder whether PU is a reference to a sniper type designation. I'm not Russian. You know I make terrible mistakes. So yeah. It's got the same, almost the same stats, but it does have a much better rate of fire. I guess that's because it's an SVT version. And then we also have the DT, which operates at 750. So at long range, this is actually a pretty decent unit. You only get 2 slots though. It is competing against snipers. It is a 35-point unit. Oh, I'm just not sure how often this unit is going to see battle, at least in 1v1 terms. You also do have some T-34-76 Razveddozor, which aren't always all that, but can often help you out in a jiffy if you need a few tanks. But I think this division is going to have a decent amount of tanks, so I don't think we're going to see too many of those. Let's jump into the infantry tab, and you do get some Sapri PPSH. There are still an odd fluttering of players that use these units. They're more so used in very heavy rush decks. I don't think that's going to be the case here, but, you know, we highlight them anyway. We got 5 cards of 20-point Gvardias. Very cheap infantry, so actually this is pretty good for what I understand is a tank division. We got the 20-point Tanko Disanikis, so you might notice they are 20 points. They took a 5-point nerf, and it was definitely deserved, I think. The good thing about them being at 15 points was you only ever got like 1 squad of them, I think, 1 card. I can't really remember many divisions, if any, where you had more than 1 card of Tanko Disaniki. So that was the... If it stayed at 15 points, it wouldn't have been too much of a problem for me because it was kind of the 1 card unique aspect of a division. Whereas I would rather have seen other divisions, you know, take a hit to counteract that. Anyway, we got, after Michiki as well, 2 cards of... You got a lot of cards of infantry. 3 cards of DP. I mean, you're going to have a lot of infantry in this division. We got a card of Sapri, Komroti, and Strafniki, which I always used to comment that these are great, but actually they aren't, unfortunately, anymore, because the way people play the game has changed, and they're just too expensive, and you don't get many of them. So yeah, they aren't so good anymore. Right, let's look at the tank tab, because this is the one that I think is going to swing it. It's going to make it or break it. We get 1 card of T-34-76, and you can get them in all phases. We got a T-34-85 Komroti, which you can get just one of them in A phase. I don't think I've seen many of the T-34-85 Komrotis before. I do love this skin. I'm not sure whether this is a new designation or a new version because it's a Komroti. Oh, we've got the leader, the ace, the T-34-85 1943 Oskin. I don't know about him. I'm sure he was a pretty heroic man. And just look at, oh my god, I love this. I love Eugene's models. Man, they look so good. I love this, yeah. So here we have another T-34-85. This is not a leader. This is not a leader. It was throwing me for a moment because obviously he's an ace, so he has yellow painted writing. This is a standard T-34-85. We've got an IS-1 Komroti. You can only take that in A phase, but you're going to want to take it because it's an IS-1. IS-1s are good. And then we got 2 cards of IS-2s. The 1944 version, they are now 180 points. So I believe that's a 10-point increase in cost. And, yep, you can get 1 in A, 2 in B, and 4 in C. I think most people are going to opt to take the IS-2s in A. I would, the IS-1 in A. I would probably think most people sort of go with a B and C IS-2. You don't really need more than an IS-1 in A. That will do the job. It's got, you know, a decent gun. It's got almost as much frontal armor as an IS-2. That will do the job in A. And then I think you kind of, it's personal preference what you do. I think most people will take the card of T-34-76. And I think most people will put it in A. But you could always put it in B for 16 of them, which is quite a lot of T-34-76s. It is going to leave your A phase quite short, so I imagine most people will put them in A and then they'll take 8 T-34-85s in B. The downside is there are fairly expensive sort of tanks in total, but that's a pretty solid tank tab, and you remember it backs up a pretty solid infantry tab. Let's look in the support tab. What do we get? We do get Ognamachikis. Just pointing those out because not every division gets the flamethrower supports. We get 1 card of OB-25, so you know that's almost a guaranteed. Especially in a Russian division, not so much in a German division because you generally get the MG42s, but the SG43 not as good as the MG42. So you're going to want that OB-25. Pretty limited actually on your support cards. Most people will take the Ognamachiki, take the OB-25, they'll take a card of supply, and you're probably only going to fill up those 3 slots, and you're going to look for your commander, which in most people's instances is going to be the WLA Combat. We then get the anti-tank tab. We've got some VZ-VOD PTRs. You might take them, you might not. They can be useful at the start of the game, although, of course, they're big squads, they're 7-man squads, so they can't come in the recon bikes. So I don't think people will take them for that fact. We got 2 cards of M42-45s. I think most people will take 1 card 100%. And actually, these slots are really generous. So you're going to be taking Zis 2 guns, you're going to be taking Zis 3 guns. Amber T, I've noticed him. He always starts with Zis 3 guns. He loves starting with Zis 3 guns. So I'm sure he's going to love starting with 3 cards of Zis 3 guns. You might want those 9 Zis 3 guns in A phase. Oh, you could get 12. You could get 12 Amber Tea. You can get 12 of them. But yeah, you've got some really nice equipment in this anti-tank tab. You also get the Su-85s that can just supplement your tanks. And I will probably think most people will take a C-phase card of those just to supplement. But I mean, you've got massive IS-2s, you've got T-34-85s, you've got Su-85s, you've got great AT guns, you've got great counters to tanks in this division. Anti-air tab. So we did say this might be the weakness, but we do get Xenon 37mm. We get 2 cards of those. We get the M17, which is the worst version of the American Lend-Lease anti-air. The M15 is the better version, so you don't want these. And then we get the Xenot 85mm. So the Russians, this division, I think most people are going to opt for the A and the B phase card of the Xenot 37mm, and then I think it's going to be personal preference as to whether you add on a card of Xenot 85mm or whether you just stick with what you've got. I think that's going to be up to individual players. Artillery, what do we get? We get some F-22s, we get some 82mm, we do get some off-map in this division, and we didn't get it in the German division. It's 132mm rocket off-map, and I've not played with this off-map yet. It is amphibious, which is interesting. So I don't really know anything about this rocket off-map, if I'm honest. I'm sorry, I can't help you. We got some 120mm, although you only get 1 card of those. We got some M30 122s, which people love because they've got those heat shells, so I imagine they'll be going in the division. We've also got the Jeep off-map with 152mm off. Oh my days. And then we've got Andrusha off-map. Oh, I do like the sound of Andrusha off-map. So that must be Katusha. I mean, it's BKA Riverboat. This is BKA Riverboat, but 132mm. I think actually the Katusha is like 82mm rocket, so that is a bit more powerful than a Katusha off-map. But yeah, we've got 2 cards, although they are limited to A and B. 2 cards of Andrusha off-map, and Andrusha actually can be really can be good. It's still decent. It can take stuff out. So exciting. I mean, this division looks pretty good. Let's have a look at the air tab. What do we get access to? We get some, yeah. Don't use this one, guys. The HE cluster munition, it's just not good enough. What else do we get? Nothing that's absolutely standing out for me. They do get some IL-2 M3 rocket AT planes, which can be decent, but you do also have some really fantastic AT guns and tanks. A bit like the German one, I'm not quite sure you want to rely on these because you've already got the capability elsewhere. This looks good. The PE-283 with the 4 250kg bombs. I definitely think you're going to want to take these. Although I would probably want to take it in B phase or C phase because just one of them in A phase depends how you're going to play the division. If this is going to be an A phase rush division for you, then yeah, fair enough. But I don't think most people are going to want to play it that way. And I would opt for the B phase card because you get more of them, and these are great. These are going to be great planes. The fighter is the P-39Q-15 Cobra, and I remember reading the description, and apparently the Red Air Force was pretty stretched, but they've managed to put together a pretty nice amount of planes. So they can't have been that stretched. We get 2 cards of these, A and B. It's not... it does have the 37mm, which... And I love the riveting. A nice new skin here. Oh. A nice new skin. Yeah. I don't know whether we've seen the M4 nose cannon, the 37mm before. I'm not 100% sure, guys. It's capable. I'll have to see how that 37mm does. And we also get the PE-283 rocket plane. I mean, looking through all of that, I think we'll probably see some IL-2M3s in A phase because they're beastly planes, so they can actually provide you some pretty good damage early on, and they're quite cheap. I think we're 100% going to see this PE-283, and we'll see some Cobras, I would think, to supplement the AA. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, let's think about this division. Is it going to be meta in 1v1? I think this one's got potential. This one's got real potential. Those 5 cards of 20-point Guardias, backed up by T-34-76s, which can be cheap, backed up by IS-2s, and you do get some T-34-85s as well. You've got to be careful with your bigger tanks. It's got a great AT slot. I'm actually kind of favouring the Zis 3 gun in this deck because it has that HE power on it, and you've already got IS-2s. I think the Zis 2 gun is going to be pretty vital to take out enemy kind of heavy armor, King Tigers especially, but you don't really want your IS-2s duking it out with enemy IS-2s because there are only 2 cards here. So it is possible that you might not have as many enemy IS-2s, as the enemy might. But you are probably going to have 6 of those, so you still get a great complement. But I still think those Zis 2 guns are going to be important. Anti-air is probably its weakest area. But I think you've got enough in the division to make this a good, solid 1v1 division. Is it going to be Division 1 Steel Division League standard? I can see it being played in there. I don't think it's going to be tip-top, played all the time, banned all the time, but I can see it being played in Division 1 standard. And I think it's going to be a pretty decent division once you go below sort of Division 1 level. I really do think it's going to be a decent division. In terms of my favourite unit, I'm actually going to pick the T-34-85 Oskin or Oskin. It's pretty basic, it's pretty plain, but I really like the skin. I do like the skin. Most of the time I like pretty plain skins. I don't like wacky, ridiculous skins. And yeah, it just appeals to me. It really just does appeal to me. So yeah, I do really just like this unit. And I can't wait to get out on the battlefield and try out the 97th Guard Strokovi. I think it's going to be a great division. Am I going to love playing it? You've got those Tanko Disanikis. How many half tracks do we get? We don't get loads of half tracks. Yeah, we don't really get half tracks. I am really enjoying playing the Germans at the moment and utilizing the half tracks. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy the division. But at the moment, like I say, I'm really enjoying playing with the Germans and just using armor and half tracks. Simple, I guess, but that's what I'm loving right now. I'm going to leave you there. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you want to see me play Divisions live, jump into the description, join me on Twitch. The link is in there. Also, like and subscribe, and yeah, plenty more Steel Division League action coming up in future on the channel. And chat to me in the comments. I get, great feedback from you guys. I really appreciate all the positive feedback. I really do. I do get some criticism at times. I try to take it on board. I think the good feedback outweighs the criticism I get. But, whenever you get criticized at something, it is tough to take at times. And it kind of sticks in your head a little bit more. So if you do want to lay some criticism on me, try and do it constructively, and maybe try and, rather than just say you're rubbish at this aspect, try and say I would rather see you do this or something. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you very soon.